the players thought of Jimmy as their leader, as their captain, even at a young age, before he was a senior in high school. I believe they followed Jimmy's lead in the weight room, on the practice floor, and in the locker room, and on game nights. Jim was more of a silent leader, but because of his intensity and his work ethic and his attention to detail, his teammates fed off of that. And I think they followed that, so I believe that his teammates really saw him as a leader, not one that had to get in their faces and yell at him or to push him, but just by what he did, they followed Jimmy. And I truly believe they saw him as a leader of that team.
Everyone looked up to Jim. He was a leader on and off the court. He wasn't the most vocal, but he definitely led with his attitude. On the court, Jim was just strictly business. As soon as that whistle blew, he just had this look in his eyes where, it was game time. And off the court, I like to mess with Jim a lot off the court. So he was a good sport. He had a good sense of humor. He knew how to fire it back. So I know everyone definitely appreciated that. He was always picking up guys when they were down. We went through a lot of tough games, and Jim always held his head high, and we all know he left his best out on the court.
We were very impressed that on day one, even on the court with some varsity players, Jim was making an impact, and we felt it. And I think Jimmy knew that, he wanted to make sure that we had our eyes on him because he wanted to be a player at St. Lawrence. And, that was what sort of separated Jimmy as he moved on throughout his career. And as a game memory, the 50-point performance that he had down at Centralia was just bar none one of the best that I've ever seen. And to knock down 22 straight free throws in that game to set a record down at Centralia, which is one of the best tournaments and one of the historical tournaments in the state of Illinois, during the Christmas time. So that was also a great memory that I have of Jimmy as a player.
Jim Schick and I ended up being on the same staff coaching basketball at St. Lawrence. That would have been starting in like 2016 or 2017. And, Jim's legacy as a player at St. Lawrence was known at that point. When kids found out about him scoring 50 points in a game, oh my gosh, you would have thought that, they just thought he was, the next best thing, and I think stuff like that, it elevates kind of what the players think of you if they know you've been in their shoes, you performed at a high level, and you've been there before. And as I got to know him more and more, it just became clear to me that this is a guy that really knows what he's doing, and a really successful coach in terms of knowing the game, knowing how to play, and using, literally getting every ounce of his God-given ability out of himself. And just he was very cerebral in terms of his approach to playing, and really gave it all he had. So yeah, he's just a really special kind of athlete when you think about what he was able to accomplish both at the high school and college levels.
Congratulations, Jim. This is well deserved. Being inducted to the Hall of Fame. I'm happy to be a part of this, and I couldn't be happier, to know you and to be friends with you and to have been your teammate. And just congratulations, well deserved, Jim Schick.
To watch him grow as a player, even onto his college career at Lake Forest. Jimmy was just a great kid to coach. Jimmy did everything for us. When we needed it, he was there to help his guards. He was there to help us in the paint, at a basket. Just what a great player, and so deserving of this honor.
Please join me in welcoming Jim Schick as the newest member of the St. Lawrence Athletic Hall of Fame.